Hello. Let me make sure that I'm live. Okay. Give me 1 sec. Hello, thank you for joining. Give me a second again. This baby's got to share, right? Let me put this on my WhatsApp status. Hi everyone. Happy what? Is it Saturday or Sunday? Saturday. Oops. I almost said Sunday. Because I'm used to being live on Sundays. Awesome. If you join, kindly share, please. Hope we're all doing great today. Happy Saturday. And today, again, if you saw the flyer on the page, I'll be talking to Prince P today. You guys know what I do, right? So Babes love to do this. So I go out there, I look for the people that are willing to come to the show and talk about themselves, talk about what they are doing, and I bring them up here to talk to us. And so that's what we are doing today. So again, thanks to all of you who have joined. And please, if you joined, do not hesitate to share the video, right? And let me quickly do another share. Give me a second. Where is that video? Where are you? Okay, you can be anything podcast. Share. Live with at Prince P. Music. There we go. Awesome. So thank you all for joining. Again, your girls So Babes, you know what we do. We talk to the people in our community who are willing to come share their stories. And again, why do we do all of this? The whole idea is by listening to other people, what they're doing, how they are going about their days. The idea is that you'll be inspired, and all of this is an effort to build our community, right? It is an effort for us to be able to do better in our community. So thank you to all of you who follow the page, and for those of you who are always here with me. I do appreciate it a lot. So as I said earlier on, today we'll be talking with Prince P. Prince P is a Cameroonian musician. And one thing, I don't know a lot about him. When I learned about him, I saw a couple of his clips. I was like, oh, this is nice. This is someone that, again, is in a community. And I could say for sure that I did not know much about him until I was talking to someone and they mentioned him, and I listened to his clips and I was blown away. So I reached out and I was like, hey, do you mind talking to me? And he said, yes. You all know how impressed, how happy I am when these guests say yes to me. I know that it is the time, it is their effort, it is your own way to build a community. So Prince P, thank you again for saying yes to So Babes. I appreciate you for coming up on my platform. And hey,
Thank you.
welcome to the You Can Be Anything podcast.
Thank you. You guys probably have me you see me I'm wearing for halfways because I've got a little thing I'm doing here. I'm getting it tatted up. So
Yay.
but yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Prince P is getting his tattoo. That's why you see his sweater is one way. And again,
Yep.
in spite of that, he still decided to talk to me. And I'm like, are you sure? I think I've heard that thing hurts. And if you're hurting and you're talking to me at the same time, then this
Yeah.
is good.
It
And
is really painful. It is painful, but I mean, at the end of the day, you get used to it. So
awesome. Okay. After all, despite you're a Cameroonian and we're used to pain, Please. Okay. That's a little bit Prince P. Yes, I know you as Prince P Music. For those of my listeners who are watching, give us a brief introduction of yourself. Who would you say Prince P is?
Yeah. Okay. So Prince B is a multi-award-winning artist. Recently, crowned by AfriFamu of California as the best diaspora artist of the year in Los Angeles, California, which is a prestigious award, basically entity that specializes in actually how can I say this? Kind of being grateful to the people who are contributing to the community, not only in Cameroon but all over the world. I got to meet people, very influential people, including commissioners and so on and so forth. That were there. But yeah, Prince B is a multi-award-winning artist from Cameroon. Um, I've been doing music for multiple years. I'd like to think of myself of along the lines of the locals, the Stanley NLs, and all that. Did a couple of shows with them before. Got quite a decent background. And if some of you are here that were in the DMV area a couple of years back, we did a show that had me, Mr. Leo, Daphne, basically most of those big artists that you can name, including Magasco and Mix. But yeah, that's a little bit about me. I do a bit of Afrobeat, a bit of Afro Khmer, like they say,
Mm-hmm.
using the Franc Anglais, using the Pidgin, using basically everything. So yeah,
Wow, that's good. Thank you for that intro. And again, congratulations on your award. I did see your AfriFamo, which is the African Fashion and Music Award. I saw that you
yes,
won that award 2024. Congratulations to you.
thank
And
you.
yeah, so you talked of music. You've been doing music for a long time. The names you called again, those are again anybody that is Cameroonian and stuff. So when you do music, did you do music just out of Cameroon, or you started music in Cameroon before coming to the States?
So growing up, I was put in a choir. So I was put in a choir. Basically, I grew up in the church choir, and at a certain age, I stopped when I came to America. Been in the U.S. since 2003. So when I came here, so I did my secondary school, college, university, and all that over here. Um, I was put through choir. I learned there. I stopped doing the music. Then all of a sudden, it came back to me when I was in my early years of high school. I went ahead and I joined the show choir. I joined all type of choirs that I could. Traveled left and right. Um, Winning awards at the show choir for the team for us, basically as one of the best show choirs in the state of Indiana. I went to high school in Indiana, and then afterwards started university, didn't really care about music. Then all of a sudden, these four guys traveled from Nigeria, exchange students, and we just bonded. We were called the Acapella Boys, and we did acapellas. We were known in a university in the city, and people loved us a lot. We had shows, doing stuff for the Martin Luther King days and things like that. We were on the news. Basically everything. It was nice. It was nice. But after the university, took some time off, did a little bit of time in Paris, and came back 2016. That's when I was like, okay. I ended up meeting my then manager, who introduced me, who was like, "Yo, you've got some talent. I've seen you do some acapellas," and I was like, "Okay, what are we doing?" Then I hit it up there, started doing music professionally since then.
Awesome. And again, the reason I'll ask you this question is because just like you, I'm also a Cameroonian child, a child from
Hmm.
Cameroon, a girl from
Hmm.
Cameroon. And I know what it is like with our parents and, oh, you're doing music, oh, you're going
Yep.
to school, all this, right?
Yep.
When you,
Hmm.
yes, you've come to the US, you did your bachelor's and you went to school. How did your family take it when you told your parents that, you know what? I'm Prince P now. I'm going to do music. How did they take it? How was the reaction from home?
Well, they wanted to see that I'm done with school first. You know how the parents, the Cameroon parents are, school first over everything. So they pushed and pushed and pushed for school first, which
Mhm.
I did, but I have a separate career besides music.
Oh,
So yeah. So now when I graduated, got my degree, I wasn't really showing out, in terms of like people knowing me that much. Even my family didn't know that I had the talent,
mhm,
because I wasn't showing a lot to them. Then all of a sudden, when I released my first video titled Nyango in 2017,
mhm.
that's when they saw the video and they heard the lyrics, they heard the vocals, they were flabbergasted. And then my mother was like, "Wow,
Is that you?
you is that you?" I'm like, "Yeah." Then then it came to when I sent her a second voice note or second song through regular messages. She listened to it and she said, "Oh, that's a nice artist. Where's this artist from?" And I was like, "He's from Cameroon." And then she was like, "Oh, okay. What's his name?" I said, "Prince P." And she was like, okay, Prince P. Hmm, okay. Who's Prince P?" And I said, "Prince P is me." And she just busted out laughing.
Yeah.
And then she was like, "Wow, I see it." So they've just always encouraged me, including my father who still lives in Cameroon. So they've just always encouraged me and try to be there the best they can.
That's beautiful. That's a beautiful story. Whenever, again, I always ask this question to people that are from Cameroon and are going towards what we call the unconventional professions, right? In
Hmm.
Cameroon, we know what those professions are. Those are professions that give people millions of dollars, professions that make people millionaires in the Western
Hmm.
world. But in
Yep.
Cameroon, they are considered unconventional. That's why I always
Unconventional.
ask
Yeah.
this question. And
Hmm.
you said something that I want to piggyback a little bit on is the whole fact that you have a career on the side of your music. One of the
Hmm.
things that we've seen our Cameroonian artists struggle with is the fact that, man, this, I don't want to call them broke, but some of them are really struggling
Hmm.
financially. They
Yep.
themselves have spoken about it. Some of them you can see, some of them have to go through the route of faking it till you make it, which I
Hmm.
personally do not have a problem with faking it till you make it. Some
Yep.
of them just have to put that facade out there of this is who they are because they want to earn the respect from Cameroonians because I know how tough it is for Cameroonians to support, right? You have to convince these
Absolutely.
people. They are not the easiest kind of people to sway to just say, hey, this is one of ours. We are going with that person, right?
Absolutely.
For you to be followed and supported by Cameroonians, man, you must represent, you must deliver. That's one
Hmm.
thing for sure. Right. So I want to I want us to talk a little bit about your decision to have a career, to build a career, even while also building your music career. I don't know what, again, it's your choice. If you want to talk about what you do apart of
Sure.
music, that's
Yeah.
fine. What was your line of thought around there when you
So
decided
my
to have another
yeah,
career on the
that's a
side?
great question. So my line of thought from the get go was I've always been that one guy who um like they say, I wanted to be responsible from the get go. I didn't want to be left and right and so on and so forth. So I had a plan in place while I was still in college. Of course, I was doing music, but I thought that, okay, I was looking at the market and I was saying that, okay, I see that you really have to be top notch. You have to be in Cameroon mostly for
Mhm.
you to be able to be recognized or looked at. Um, but then I thought to myself, okay, I have to have a career to be able to actually fund my music, support myself before others will support me. You mentioned earlier that it's really difficult for Cameroon artists who are here to be able to get the support that they need. Yes, it is. It's definitely difficult. At some point, we felt like it was a fight between us here in the diaspora versus the ones back home, and we saw that we have equal um, not equal opportunity, but we have equal talent. If not, no offense to them, even better, because I've seen a lot of artists here that are absolutely phenomenal from Cameroon that are not even looked at, but the ones back home are supported. Sometimes I give this example. Davido, for example, yes, we can say yes, his father had money and everything. Davido was born in Atlanta and he started music in Atlanta. Like they say, support your own. You know, he started music in Atlanta, brought it back home. Once he brought it back home, everybody started supporting him. Look at him now today. So we grow by supporting our own. I'm gonna look at, for example, Bianca. I'm taking an example on her. No one really knew who she was. No one was paying attention to her. So she had to literally go British Got Talent or this talent for her to get known. And she had just one song. The
Wow.
Americans kind of supported her more than we did. And now I feel like, honestly, it was hypocritical of us that since we knew that all of a sudden she's supported by others, we started thinking like, oh, she's from Cameroon, let's support her
Ours.
too.
She's
And
ours.
that's the problem. We have to start with the artists from the get go, so that we can raise them up and be able to value them at a particular standard. Because believe it or not, it takes days to work on a song. It takes a lot of money to work on a song. It takes a lot of money to work on a video. So when we deliver pieces like this, for example, that 5 minutes, 2, 3, 4 minutes that the audience is watching, even if you feel like it's not up to par, it's still best to encourage and support, but be critical in a constructive manner.
Yeah.
Because we've got some people, that sometimes when somebody show their stuff, they're like, oh yeah, this one is a waste of time, this one is a waste of this. Then you basically shut down the potential and the talent that the person has. I've seen artists who are not even close to most of the artists in Cameroon. I've seen some in Nigeria, some in Ghana, some in other countries who are not close to the potential. I'll give an example. You have this guy that I just watched on TikTok, Hens. His name is Hens. You hear the vocals on that guy, and then you try to compare it to some of the other artists. You'll be like, whoa, you know. But why is he not known? Because we're
Yeah.
not supporting our own. So that's kind of what it is.
Yeah, it is challenging. I know I've listened to a couple of artists talk about the whole diaspora. Again, this was a diaspora artist. I think she was somewhere in Maryland in the DMV
Mm-hmm.
area, and put it that way. And I know that there is this general belief that for those of you Cameroonian artists that are in the diaspora, it's hard for you to blow
Mm-hmm.
unless you go back home, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the
Mm-hmm.
general thought is that for the Cameroonian artists, you just gave the example of the video who was still able to start music in the US and went to Nigeria, went back home, and he's still one of the best that Nigeria has or ever have,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Absolutely.
so for you as a Cameroonian you find yourself here in the US, do you feel that urge? Did you feel that need to go back home to maybe to play back home or to do your music videos back home for you to be able to become better known or for you to blow as we say it? Do you feel that urge to say, okay, no, for you to succeed or for you to make it, you have to go back to Cameroon?
Honestly, you don't particularly have to go back to a certain area for you to be able to blow. You just need the right support. The reason I give an example about Davido, because most of us here in the diaspora have actually traveled back home,
Mhm,
and we've done all of that, and people still pay more attention to those who are based there.
mhm,
We understand that, people would say, oh, people have this view of, if you live in America or you live in Canada or you live in Europe, you have a lot of money, so nobody needs to support you. They
mm,
have that view, and that's a problem, because they forget that the artists back home, the only job that they have is to do their music so they can make money. Us here, we have a regular careers, 8 hours a day, or some people work 12 hours a day, and then we still have to deliver music, work on the music and so on and so forth. And to think about it, back home, people have sponsors, they have record labels. Here, we do it on our own, most of us. I know artists who have gone back home who say, I'm making money, I'm going to go back home. They stay there for a year, for 6 months, and still have not gotten to where they need to get. And it's not because they don't have the talent. It's just that, like you said, we're difficult people in Cameroon. It's difficult for us to support. and that's the issue. Um, but yeah, sometimes you do have to make a trip here and there. Some of us have videos that we've shot back home and we've brought it back here, get it mastered and everything, extremely good quality, and so on and so forth, and people still don't really pay attention. So that's just like they say in French, c'est dommage.
So dommage, it's unfortunate, right?
Yeah.
It is really unfortunate. But again, the one thing that we are not doing is settling, because the truth is, Cameroon, I say this, our country is one country that is close to my heart. And I keep saying that we can do better as a community and as a country. That's why we have platforms like this, right? That's why you
Absolutely.
will find people like this. There are a ton of platforms that we go to talk about the different things that we are doing, just to create that awareness. Before
Hmm.
starting the show, I did make it known to you that I really did not know you. I probably, the previous song I've heard it, but I never knew who Prince P is, right?
Yeah.
And I probably have heard that song because of your friend LG.
Hmm.
Right. So you see that there is that, I don't know if I can call it a dichotomy, but it is a little bit sometimes when new songs even come out, we don't get them. Again, fortunately, I am more on the social media space now. So I will see some of those songs, I will see as people share and stuff, right? That's one thing about us. Cameroon, I don't think maybe this is too much to say, but we support, right? But I don't know if we
Hmm.
are doing it the right way. I don't
Absolutely.
know if it is the challenge of sharing, because how do we know? How will I know that Nigeria has a new song, or some musician in Nigeria or in Ghana has a new song? It's probably somebody that I know that knows some other person that shared the video, or
Hmm.
okay, I'm not on TikTok, or maybe I'm on Instagram. I love to do Instagram videos. Then I do one of those reels and I go to Art Music and I see that somebody has done a video.
Hmm.
To me, that's how I learn about new songs, right?
Okay.
Or for
Hmm.
example, like our Asabara had a new song not too long ago, Bygone. You know where I heard that song? On Instagram. I was making my video on Instagram and I saw somebody that was like, whoops, I have to make my own video of this song. So
Hmm.
one thing is I always encourage. I see that some of your colleagues now are doing it, to have those little clips, or whatever people call them, challenges across the different platforms, so people get to, for me, that's what works. That's how I know, because I rarely go to a club. I'll not hear it in a club or somewhere, which
Of course.
initially that's the expectation, that you'll hear those songs in a club, right?
In the club.
So
Yeah, of
most of
course.
us who don't go to the club, we blast our homes with YouTube. That is still supporting, because the many times that I play your song on YouTube, it gives also puts it out there. Or if I dance to it and I post it, another person will be like, oh God, what is Soso Babes doing? Soso Babes dancing to
Absolutely.
this song again now. No. You see,
Yeah.
just things like that, right? So yeah, but it is great. I love that you talked about that whole diaspora and Cameroon concept. But before we even talk more, I want you to tell me a little bit about the African Fashion and Music Award. How did you even
Okay.
get there? Like, again, just
Well,
give us the gist around
okay.
that whole award.
Yeah. So the African Music Fashion Award, it is actually an entity that was, I'm going to say, started almost 8 years ago.
Mhm.
I wasn't nominated at that time. I had a manager who knew the owner, and
Mhm.
this was the time that the lady was actually, she was still doing shows like in small hotel spaces and things like that. I performed there once, the first time in California,
Mhm.
and then it grew. It was a vision that that lady believed in. She had a lot of people in the community in California, Cameroonian, Nigerian, everybody supporting. And once they supported, this year when I went, I was I was like, wow, from that small thing to this.
Yes.
And
Growth.
now she's able to host awards at 20 to $30,000 halls in
Wow.
Los Angeles, California, next to Hollywood. And if you think of that, so now she knew me from the get go. I was the first one who was there to support her, and I was also nominated in 2017, but I didn't have the chance to go due to some circumstances. But this time, there were nominations going on. She reached out and she was like, "Okay, we see your work. We love your work. You've been doing a great job for these years. Submit your candidacy. Let's see where it goes. Get some votes, so on and so forth." And it was that.
Amazing. That's
Yes.
great. So I did see you. You did the if you're happy and you clap your hands. I saw you
Yeah,
singing that
yeah,
in there. And that
yeah.
award, the hall alone was amazing. I watched the short video and I'm like, wow, this is beautiful. Like if you this is one of ours receiving such a beautiful award in this kind of man, we've seen award day, right? We've
Yes,
seen
yes.
different places where award man everybody can make their award and give, but when you watch some awards, you know that hey, this is an award,
This
right?
is another word. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So and when I watched, I was like, wow, this is really beautiful. And
That song actually, my daughter, when I sing that, that's like her favorite. So
oh,
if she's able to stand up and clap, what makes me think that adults cannot stand up and
how
clap?
old is
So
she?
I use that, and they were like, they cooperated it
Yeah,
through
it
through
was
that.
good. The
So
response was good because when you
yeah,
sang it, you have then some people that actually responded, which is what
yeah,
you expect from an audience, right?
exactly,
When you're
exactly.
performing. That was beautiful. So before we go ahead, I want us to listen to one of Prince P's songs. In this song, this is Poutoir, featuring Eddie B. So let me play that. Yes, Eddie B. Beautiful song. Let's take a pause there. And now, tell us a little bit that song, right? Your
Yeah.
choice of that song. By the way, what happened to your hair?
So when you have a second career, you can't have that stuff. You have that one career where you can put up a persona, and then you have another one where you cannot. So I had to kind of step off and be more professional. But about the song, so watching the video, I don't know if people were able to read between the lines. So this song it is about betrayal. So it is about one lady playing 2 to 3 men at the same time. So I meet this girl, and I'm talking to my friend about her, and then he tells me that he met this girl as well, and he's talking to me about her. We're both excited. So we end up at a bar drinking, we're talking about it and whatnot. And then all of a sudden, towards the end, of course, we probably didn't watch the end. Towards the end, she's telling me that, oh, I'm really good. She's saying all the good stuff to me, and my belly don't sweet, just like butterflies, and then she's doing the same thing to my friend. Now, we end up somewhere together. Him and I were going. He invites me out, just like I invited him out. I'm like, okay, I want you to meet this girl. It's like, yeah, I want you to meet this girl too. So we end up at the same place. So it seems like the girl made a mistake and invited us both at the same place. So we get there. Once we get there, we're getting out of the car. When we get out of the car, we see her running to another man. And we're like,
Oh,
whoa,
not even to you
isn't that,
people.
yeah. It's like, isn't that the girl that's my girl. And then he's like, no, that's my girl. And we're like, that's the girl that I was just talking to. And then we're just like, whatever. And then yeah, that's how it goes. So we just let her go along with the third guy. And
Mhm.
then, yeah.
That's interesting. That's a nice one. Tell us a little bit about your inspiration when you write songs. What inspires you?
Well, a lot of the things have to do with things that happen in life naturally. So most of my songs have to do with that. I have one titled Nyango, which was the first song I ever released. Nyango was a girl that was giving me a lot of trouble. And I'm not sleeping. I'm thinking about Nyango every time. Nyango, Nyango, Nyango. I'm not even eating because of Nyango. So basically it's kind of like real life stories, things that can happen to man at times, and things that us men we can do that can drive us nuts. um Basically real life story. Basically that's what I write my lyrics off based off of. And I know it's happened to some of us over here, but we have that one lady that we're thinking of, especially our wives. So
Likewise, right?
yes, yes.
Yeah, that's that's amazing. When you talk about your inspiration to write music and why you write, I'm looking forward to one that you will be inspired by your daughter to write.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes,
Okay. Because
absolutely.
just by talking to you the first 5 minutes, you mentioned her, my daughter like twice. So definitely there's probably something cooking, which she's gonna be the inspiration
Yeah,
behind
she's got
that.
daddy wrapped over the finger. She's got daddy wrapped over the finger.
It's what the girls do to their
Yeah,
daddies. That's what the
yeah.
girls do to their daddies. Yeah, you do music again. You have your job, and you have music on the side. Of course, sometimes you already mentioned earlier on that one of the challenges that you think that, again, I don't know if you said that or I said it, is the fact that most of our artists or some of our artists that are back home, they are mostly just doing music. Sometimes,
Hmm.
and I have made a video again with my podcast, You Can Be Anything. I encourage people to find their better versions, their best versions, right? And I
Hmm.
know there is one of the in one of the short videos I made, I did make mention that sometimes in life you can have your passion. You do what you love to do. For example, podcasting, talking to people like you, I love it. But this does not pay
Absolutely,
the bills. Yeah, this does not pay the
absolutely.
bills. I have to do something. I have to work or maybe or have a business on the side to take care of things like this. And that was encouragement that I had in that video to encouraging. There could come a time where you, Prince B, you will not even need to work anymore. But this thing is a process, right? Your work
Absolutely.
will
Yes.
be your music, your
Yes.
100% commitment. You get it?
Yes.
But again, before we ever get there, I cannot wait for the time in my life that I'll just wake up, have a studio, just go sit in that studio, talk to people Monday through Friday. That is my dream life. Get
Yeah.
it? So we
Yeah.
all work towards these things. We are working. While we're doing that, we are also having a gig, something we got to pay bills wherever we are in the world,
Hmm.
right? So let's talk a little bit about your challenges. So in this whole, again, today our focus is on your music career, Prince P Music, right? What would you
Hmm.
say are some of the challenges that you have faced so far or you're battling with in this career?
Well, some of them have to do with contracts. Event organizers try everything that they can, but contracts, basically being up to the expectation of the contract. If you're telling me that, hey, I'm going to do this for you, you got to be able to do it, because at the end of the day, I'm spending my own hard-earned money to be able to also entertain people. If I'm bringing an audience to you, for example, and you're having those people, even if it's just two people, and you're selling the tickets for $100, you just made $200 from me, from my presence, and we got to be able to actually support that, actually appreciate that. But some of the challenges that I face is that I'm having to use my own money.
Mm,
Um, in terms of doing that, it's music is not some for some people it's a passion, for some people it's spiritual.
okay.
Um, and it's something that I personally cannot let go because I come from a family of musicians, but they didn't really want to go ahead and blow like we have a family. Our parents who always say that you either a doctor or a lawyer or something, nothing else. You have to go to school. So I saw that different with my parents, where they were like, they encouraged me, you know. And now one of the things I want to profit in there before I continue is to let parents know, us parents right now, know that when you see a talent in your child, try to help develop that talent from to that child instead of denying it. School is good. School can be what you call if a kid is really good at football, for example, they can make their living off of it, but at the same time you have to also encourage them that you always have to have plan B, and plan B is what? Your degree.
Yeah.
If you go and get injured, plan B can take care of you for the rest of your life, no problem. So encourage that talent, help encourage the kids to do better, to become everything that they want in life. But now, so those are, like I said, those are some of the challenges that I face. I face the bookings of shows, technically having to go and look for shows on your own, or sometimes when you share here, you see somebody, they share the flyer of somebody, you reach out, here's my stuff, and they're impressed. They're like, I don't know you, but wow, this is pretty good. So what are you looking for? Oh, I want to be able to at least open or at least come up to the show. Give me an opportunity so I can share my talent, so that next time when you're going to need, you can see what I can do. Then you can say, okay, here's a quote for you. You
Yeah.
know, those little things, like I say, some of us invest in ourselves 100% of the time, but it's just the return that's not there. But we can't say it's a waste of money, because we have people who have done that for years, and then all of a sudden, boom,
Yeah.
they make it. um and I don't know, I've got a lot of other things to think, but it's just they're not here at the mind at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are some of the things we face.
Yeah, which again is it's common challenges among again considering that you're in the diaspora booking shows and stuff like that. I think that that is like expected. When you sing in the diaspora, do you do record labels like I've heard our artists in Cameroon do too? So do you, are you okay, for your example, are you signed by a record label, or are you an independent musician?
Right now, I'm an independent artist. I'd like to be signed, but when the right person comes, the right time comes, of course, we all know what happens in record labels. But right now, I'm independent. I do my stuff on my own. Um, Anything that you see out there, it's me on my own. But I also wanted to line something that well, it just flew off my mind, but anyway, it's gonna come back. So yeah, I'm not signed. I'm independent. Everything by myself. Studio by myself. All that.
Okay, you made reference to something early on that I want to talk a little bit on. Is this whole encouraging our kids, right? Growing up, we all know that we there was soccer, right? The football, as we call it back home.
Yeah.
There was football. There's basketball. There is all of these things. Track. I used to do gymnastics when I was in secondary school and stuff. Or do like
Hmm.
the air back match on 11 February and 20th May. All those fun stuff. And
Hmm.
but again, when it comes to this, what we call extracurricular activities, as we grew up calling them in schools, right? We all know that it was tough for our parents to be like, hey, yeah, this person is great in, or they'll say, hey, Prince P is great in music. We are going to encourage his music career, or hey, Valley is great. Is a great football player. We are going to push him to play football. Right? That's something that our parents struggle with. Today we are talking about it, and when I just want to ask you this question as a parent too, Right now, you and I are talking about it like something that our parents did not do or did not encourage us to do. So now
Absolutely.
time has passed. We are parents now. Do you find yourself in a place where you can encourage a kid, your child? Let's say, for example, let's take football because I know that if there is something that Cameroonians are blessed with is football. Right.
Yes.
Football de
Yes.
Cameroon is just the management, the Kiwi. There is great football talent in Cameroon, right?
Hmm.
Do you find yourself in a place where you can encourage your kid to play football, to become a football player in a country like America, where it's
Yes, of course.
time? Yeah.
Yes, of course. I find my child. I've got a 6-year-old who's passionate. The guy's very active. I'm talking handstand gymnastics, American football, basketball, African football. You know, it was in there in the DNA for him. Um, he was 6 months old. I was sitting on the couch every morning at 6 a.m. to watch Chelsea play with him, and he enjoyed it. So I would encourage him for sure. But parents also, what we have to do is have the right balance. We can encourage them to be able to play soccer or to do anything they want to do, but at the same time, we want them to know that without this, you can't do this.
Yeah.
So, meaning that if he or she is not doing well in school, we take some of the stuff that they like to do away. Like, for example, when a child is passionate or good at something, they love it.
Yeah.
So sometimes we have to kind of say, hey, if you want to do this, you have to do better in school. So we have to have the right balance, and that is what pushes us to be able to make sure that their future is secured, because some parents have children who go pro, some parents have children who actually get their university paid through athleticism.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of here, having my child play here because he likes football a lot. um, I would think a little bit twice, because I think of level. If I want my child to really succeed and learn, I'm not just going to throw them in. The level here is a bit lower compared to the levels in Europe, and so
Europe.
on and so forth.
But
So
quick question on that. Does that not make it less competitive for him? So look at it like here, because sometimes you'll see again, this is me now putting another conversation on you, okay?
mhm,
So what happens is that you see most of like we're using Cameroon here as our case study. You will see their kids are playing American football, they're playing all of these other things. But the soccer that probably is in their veins, they are running away from that. Don't you think
mhm.
that because the market is not too big, they are going to stand a better chance playing soccer in America than
Yeah,
even in Europe?
it's a great question. But what I would advise parents is, if you see that a child is good, really good at something than the other, invest in them. Send them. Okay, if you see that he's good at soccer, for example, we've got a lot of American soccer players playing in Europe right now. Their
Mhm.
parents took them while they were younger and brought them to Europe to learn from the Europeans, to learn the style of play from there. Now they're playing in national teams. I'm going to take an example: Christian Pulisic. Christian Pulisic was born in Hershey, Pennsylvania, small town Pennsylvania. And
Mhm.
now his parents took him out of there while he was really young. You've got other players in the US that are playing here, but if you notice that, we all know that if they bring like an African team here to play against an MLS team here, it's going to be a different story,
Yeah.
because the levels are different.
Yeah.
Some people might not agree with me because Africa doesn't have the stadiums and most of the infrastructures, but we do, but not much as here.
Mhm.
But imagine if we had what they have here there,
Yep.
what we would be able to do.
Yep.
So basically, investing in your child, taking he or she away from the area that you think is not going to be beneficial to them. And another thing I'd like to say is, encourage your children to learn different languages.
Mhm.
It
Ah,
is
language
it
one.
is very it is very good for them. It is, because if your child can speak Spanish, French, English, German, Chinese, they would excel in life. And I always say this: anything that's not challenging would not make you advance. You have to be in an area that is challenging for you to be able to unleash your full potential,
Yeah.
for you to be able to work harder to be at that level or even to reach beyond that level.
Yeah.
That's why, sometimes when I see people stay in an area where they say, I'm comfortable here, you're comfortable there, which means that you will stay at a mediocre pace
Yeah.
while others are advancing because they're changing sceneries.
They're taking
So,
challenges.
yeah, those different key points.
Wow, that's a good one. I just told you that my happy spot is when I don't have to work anymore and I just have to do my shows and talk to people like you. Just wake up every day, Monday to Friday or even Saturday, just get into
Mhm.
my studio and talk to people. That's my dream. God bless my heart.
and,
So,
and and I mean, with your platform, you're definitely going to make that, because I'll tell you, your platform with the type of, you know uh, I'm going to say, quote unquote, second career you're doing, it is challenging. It's not every talk show that you just get on and then you get all the views, you get all the audience you need, and so on and so forth. But we also have to put in our mind that we start from somewhere
yeah,
to get somewhere. And we
that's
also elevate by supporting others. And that's what I think we should do.
amazing. This is beautiful. Thank you so much. Again, you just made me believe that my dream will someday come true. Right? This is great. So, hey guys, if you just joined us, I'm talking to, I should have, I didn't even put your name on the screen on mine. I'm talking to Prince P. Prince P is a Cameroonian musician, and we just listened to one of his clips, Poutoir, featuring Eddie B. Beautiful song. So I'm gonna pull that up for a little bit again, just so we. I want to see the end part of that song. He did mention that he wants to
The
get down to
ending
it. So
part.
I'm
Okay.
excited.
So the storyline is very interesting.
Oh, really? LG just said I cannot hear the song. How come? Oh, thank you for letting me know. Maybe I needed to change the setting. Is
Yeah,
it
I think I couldn't
perhaps
hear. I
mine?
thought I thought it was something that it would just be playing and they can hear it on their end. That's what I
Yeah,
thought. But
I
I think
expected him to hear, but he says for some reason can't hear the sound, which means that the audio of the song is not going through, which is odd. That's okay. Yeah, beautiful. I'm not sure why that happened, LG. Sorry. I was here enjoying and vibing to it all by myself, not knowing that my audience cannot even hear, cannot even hear. And I'm just enjoying
sometimes
and
sometimes
vibing
that's good. Sometimes that's good promotion. That it's going to send them
to
it's going to
the
send them to go look it up.
yes, go to YouTube. Look for
Yeah.
Prince. Oh, I'm sorry. I did not mean that. For real. I did not mean that. That was not on purpose. For real, it wasn't. So hey, check out the song on YouTube. It's a beautiful one. And please subscribe to Prince P Music as well. And for that reason, I'm gonna put it again. Maybe yes, I'm dropping the link right now. You can read my mind. I just added a link to the comment section. I hope, yeah. You can read my mind. That's the song I was playing. So please check out Prince P. If you get on YouTube, do subscribe to his channel. This is what we do. We come out here to talk to our own, the people that are making our community what it is, doing their best, putting in their best effort to make sure that Cameroon is known in a good way. And that's why I enjoy every little second I spend with one of these community builders. It is fun to me. I don't care what time of the day or how I feel, so long as I have someone that says, "Yes, Solange, I want to talk to you." I am on here talking to them. It gives me great joy. It makes me really happy. So, Prince P, thank you so much for accepting to come
You're
to my
very welcome.
platform. We are
Thank
getting to
you.
one. We are getting to 1 hour. Is there anything you wanted us to talk about a little bit before?
Well, at this moment, not a lot, but I wanted to say thank you so much for having me. So, one of the ways I was able to find out, like you said earlier, you said we learn from someone to someone to someone. It's like a pyramid.
Yep.
So, one of my guys, that I know, LG, actually shared your platform, and I was watching, and I was like, wow, this is very interesting. And he posted a comment on there, and I went in and liked it, and I was like, yeah, this is pretty cool. Since then I started following.
Yep.
But now I had to switch up to my artist page and follow as well. That way I can get the notifications anytime you're on there, so I can watch anytime that I can. But this is what I like to say again is thank you so much for having me. And of course, it's not within the exact the exact setting that I was hoping for, but you know, I needed to make sure, sometimes things are done well when they're natural than to be done, in a quote unquote fake environment. So, but
Yep.
yeah.
This has been good. And again, guys, this young man is he's doing his tattoo. He's in a tattoo shop doing or reviving
I'm
again.
trying
We hope you
I'm
show us
trying not to
5
cry.
minutes.
Oh, I'm trying not to cry because this thing is painful. I'm trying not to cry. So when you see me smiling too much like this, is
It's a
a little
pain.
hard for me. I have to be a big boy.
That's amazing. I really do appreciate that you decided you still did this, even though you were not home. But you said, "Hey, Solange, I can still do it. I'm in here, but we can still do it." And it's a freestyle for me. I love for us to come and just have a free conversation, just talk about the different things that are happening and how, again, what our contribution can be, right? At
Absolutely.
this point, this is where I throw that question out to you. You are on the social media space. You do see what is happening in our community. And one of the things, again, when you look at it, maybe you want to look at it both in the aspect of this is Cameroon. You have traveled, you're well traveled, you have an idea of what all the other different communities are like. So if you had
Exactly.
that opportunity, right, to talk
Hmm.
to our people, like this is me now making you the motivational speaker of Cameroon. I've given you this big mic that everybody pauses, everybody stops to listen
Okay.
to Prince P talk. What are you going to tell them?
So what I would say is support your own, my people. That's one of the things I would say. Support your own first. Like they say, charity starts from home. You start, and they say in French, avant de balayer la cour de ton voisin, balaye d'abord ta propre cour.
Yeah.
So meaning that support our own first before we support anybody else. Doesn't mean that we don't have to support anyone else. And another thing is like together like that we can grow to do great things, to be bigger, better. The Cameroon that I know, that I grew up with, when you hear of Samuel Eto'o, people were like, "Whoa!" Everybody know who he is. We want that. We want more of that. When you hear of Richard Bona, people are like, we know who he is. He's known here in America. He's known everywhere. But
Yeah.
now we need to be able to be at that level where when you hear of Manu Dibango, everybody knows him. So we need to be able to be back at that level where we can support our own, to push our art, our
Out.
talent out there to everybody else, so that they can know that, hey, Cameroon is greater than we really thought. The new generation have come in. Some of them don't know who the Manu Dibangos are. Some of them don't know who the Richard Bonas are, and so on and so forth. So we need to remind them that we have greats and we had greats.
Yeah.
And together we can make it, and by supporting each other. It doesn't matter whether it's in music, whether it's in film, whether it's in people have businesses around your town, support the best you can. Even if you have $1 and you want to buy chin chin for $1, use that $1 to go buy that chin chin from your own brother first. You support your brother, then you know that you one day you will also need the support
Need to
from your brother,
support.
and they will do that for you. That's kind of what I would like to say, and I wanted to say thank you so much again for having me, and I hope to be back on the show really soon, but in a really cool and better environment,
You're great
in
the way
terms
you
of.
are. The
Yes, thank
natural is
you.
amazing. Don't make it seem like
Yes,
your current setting is there's anything wrong with it. There's nothing
the,
wrong
the,
with
the
it.
environment
I
is nice. It's
love the
just the outfit and
freestyle.
all that. So that's why. But thank you so much for having me, and I really look forward again.
Yeah, thank you so much for saying yes. In the Saturday afternoon, the weather just got better, and
Yes.
you decided to say, "Hey, I'm going to talk to you, Solange. I'm out here doing my Nyanga boy stuff, but I'm gonna talk to you." And you
Yes.
decided to join. I do appreciate you so much, Prince P. So, hey, if you're listening again, this is Prince P. He's a Cameroonian artist. Please check him out on YouTube. He also has a page on Facebook, Prince P Music. I think I tagged it on this video. If I hope the tag worked. If not, I can fix it. Again, please follow his page, like his music, and when for all those my listeners, all of you, again, I talked to a couple of people who are in these music places. When you're doing all the events and stuff, remember that we should the one way that we can support this our diaspora artists to grow is to organize those events, invite them to those events, and make their music known. Because, as I said earlier on, the way I know Asaba is through Instagram Reels, right? That's
Hmm.
because I don't attend shows a lot. But one way that we can make these people, and again, look at, I would know Asaba who is in Cameroon before Prince Peter is even next to me. Right. So the best way that we can, according to me, is by when we do these shows, let's bring in our artists that are in the diaspora, because most of these shows sometimes are even organized by people in the diaspora, and they bring artists from Cameroon, right?
Cameroon,
And
exactly.
so it's very important that we also invite our artists that are local to the US. And again, not stopping you from bringing the artists from Cameroon, but again, it is an opportunity for the artists that are here. We all know that they have to work double to be able to do this thing they are doing. I don't even know how. For me, I have to sit on my same desk that I work from at home. But for you, I wish you could work from the studio you sing music in. So it is tough. I see that. I appreciate it a lot, and I want to say thank you again a lot for saying yes to my invitation, and thank you for coming onto the You Can Be Anything podcast.
Thank you so much. It'll always be a yes. Thank you so much, everybody, for receiving me. Again, I go by the name of Prince P. Please search me on all social platform, Prince P Music. Everything is Prince P Music. Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, anywhere, even on Facebook or YouTube. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure, Solange. Thank
Thank
you.
you. I'm happy you
See you
showed
guys.
up.
Okay.
Bye bye. Hey, hey, guys. This was amazing. I had a great time chatting with Prince P. Hey, you all know, right? This is what Social Babes does. I love to come sit here, chat with these amazing guys, just have a good time, hear what they're doing, hear what they are up to. They share their experiences, they share their challenges and all of these things, and we just learn from them and we move on. So again, I do not see a lot of comments. So if you're still watching me, you gotta pump me some hearts now. I want to see some red hearts going up. Doesn't mean that the people watching me today are not my lovers. Come on, Trailblazers, pump some hearts for Social Babes. I'm watching. I want to see some hearts go up. Like, people just watch me quietly today. I did not get a lot of heart pumps. Somebody gonna pump me hearts, or I'm not gonna go away. Is somebody gonna pump me hearts? You don't pump me hearts, I'm gonna start calling names. Thank you all so much. I definitely appreciate it. It's been a great afternoon. Felt really beautiful talking to Prince P. And hey, this is what we do. Please kindly follow his platforms, Prince P Music. on YouTube, Facebook, and all the other social media platforms. Kindly follow him, subscribe to his YouTube channel. He has amazing songs. The one I just played now was Boutoir. Unfortunately, the sound was not up again. That's also Bips for you. Probably needed to check some sound stuff before I played that. But again, I put the link to that video in the chat. So please click on it and listen to his music, subscribe to his page. He has an amazing vocal, like the sound is beautiful. So please stay tuned. Your one and only Soso Babes. I hope to see you put tomorrow. Everything being equal on this page or on the Roy Mama's page tomorrow, we'll be running the Sunday Fun Day. And next week, I'm talking to two amazing guests. And so please, if you're not following the page yet, kindly follow. Hopefully, Facebook sends you notifications when I come live. I've got two guests booked for next week to talk to them, and I hope that is going to be an amazing conversation, just like the one we had now with Prince P Music. Thanks again. Thanks again for trusting and for following your girl and for making my dream come true. I appreciate you all, and I am who I am because you're there for me. Thanks again, and have an amazing weekend. Stay blessed and be good to each other. Bye-bye.